Anyway, as this bizarre battle for the Sikh throne raged, the British, as they like to do, began sniffing around. The First Sikh War has been covered on this channel before, and it's a fascinating conflict that nearly saw the might of the British Raj defeated. Gardner wasn't heavily involved in the war, although some reports do say that he commanded 17 guns at the Battle of Mudki, Midnight Mudki, in December 1845. But he says in his books that as he left to go and fight, the Maharani Jindan called him back to defend her and the city of Lahore against her own army, the Khalsa, who she knew hated her. Understandably, of course, as she herself was playing a double game, hoping that they would be defeated by the British. So that's probably a bit I didn't make clear. The army hated her. They liked her son, they didn't mind him, but they hated her and they didn't like the power she wielded at court. So she actually wanted to see her own army destroyed. I told you it was confusing, and so the war ended with a British victory. Hurrah! At the end of the war, Gardner found himself hosting and reporting to a number of British agents. But it wasn't long before he'd had enough of that, and he left for the mountains of Kashmir to join up with his bosses, those Dogra brothers. Now the king was another brother called Gulab Singh. And now it seems our hero, or maybe he's our villain, starts to drop out of sight, and his importance begins to fade. It's said that he bore the scars of 15 wounds taken in battle and in fights, including that gash in his neck. When Gulab Singh died, his successor decided to keep on Gardner, this strange old American with his tartan turban. He was almost like a good luck talisman. He couldn't get rid of him. He continued to command a regiment in the army, and for the rest of his days entertained foreign visitors when they came through town. Imagine getting to have a beer with a man like that and hearing his stories. Must have been absolutely brilliant. Like many old soldiers, as the saying goes, he didn't die, he simply faded away. And so I think it's only right and proper to raise a glass to Colonel Alexander Gardner, frontiersman, adventurer, warrior. Here's to you, sir.